Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp and Chance. I am your host, Bobby Sampson, and I am joined by my man with the master plan, the man for the casual fan, Mr. Chance Michaels. The beard is coming in thick. How is it?
Not too bad. I'm going to trim down tomorrow. I go to the professional. Let the professionals do the shave, right? You can't keep the line straight. I find I let that sit back and let Uncle G, line me up or whatever.
Yeah, every once in a while, it's a good to kind of pamper yourselves. I'm sure the ladies do it often enough that, once in a while, it's okay for us to go out and get
Exactly.
something done. If that's the case, awesome, man. So here we are, Tuesday once again. Wow, what an interesting week we've had here in terms of boxing, in terms of wrestling. But I digress. We are
Very
here to talk
interesting. Yeah.
about, yeah, we're here to talk about wrestling and everything else that goes along with it. So let's start with Monday Night Raw, Mr. Michaels. Last week we saw Austin Theory get stripped of his Money in the Bank case. He lost the match. It wasn't even for the title match. It wasn't even for the big title. It was for the US title. This week on Raw, we saw basically the whole show built around this US title. What do you think?
What do you think of it?
Well, I'm asking you, what did you think?
I thought it was good. I mean, he lost again though, but we had a qualification, right? He just keeps losing every week. They're going to give him a win. Are they trying to tear him down to bring him up? Maybe.
I think you're seeing the rebirth of Austin Theory in a way now. I mean, if they were trying to bury him, if they were trying to destroy him, he wouldn't have gotten as much time on television that he did, in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah.
those are coveted spots, right? Especially two weeks now out of Survivor Series, which we'll touch on here shortly. Um, I thought he did pretty good. I thought I see what they're trying to do. Yeah, in a way, they're tearing him down, but they're rebuilding him up. I mean, he didn't come out with the phone,
Yeah.
right? So he seems to be more business oriented, more
And then trying to make him a little more mean, a little more edge to him.
yeah, something else like that, right? Because I mean, up until then, I mean, he'd been playing a serious role, but he was a joker. He was that kid
Yeah, a
that
little
you
bit.
wanted. He was that kid you wanted to slap at the party because he kept getting away with everything, right? Um, I like what they're doing. I hope this really works for him. He does have a future. He does have the build. He has the look. I
Oh yeah,
mean,
young.
he's young. He's got the beard like you. So I mean,
A lot of people are saying that last week. I should have said this last podcast, but a lot of the experts, the writers, the dirt sheet writers, they're saying that last week's Money in the Bank, how they took it from him, is the worst that they've ever seen. How they had the creative at WWE discredited Money in the Bank the way he lost it like that. I'm not saying that, but that's the vibe that some people are saying.
well,
So maybe they're done with Money in the Bank going forward because of the way they did it. I don't know.
I've read some of what you're talking about, and you know what? I think there's many levels to this. I mean, I don't think you get rid of Money in the Bank because it is a pretty good thing. It's a great way to bring up
It
new,
is,
fresh
yeah,
talent. The problem with this particular Money in the Bank, in my opinion, is the fact that you got a guy who's champion that can't be dethroned,
that's the huge problem. Yeah, he's got both
right?
belts. He doesn't.
Like unless you give one of the belts back to Raw, like it makes no sense. Like how is he going to cash in? He can't. There's no way he's able to.
Yeah,
Though
unless it's U.S. title or something intercontinental. That's it.
every time he's tried, he's been foiled, right? What happened in Crown Jewel, right?
Tyson Fury popped. No, he got.
Was
Was that when Tyson Fury popped him?
Tyson Fury popped him in Cardiff at
Yeah, sorry, Cardiff. That's yeah.
yeah, right. And then did he try cashing in Crown Jewel?
He didn't try to cash in at Crown Jewel.
No,
No.
he didn't, right? Okay, so there's been a couple attempts where he's tried to cash in. Um, the first time, he got smacked in the jaw by Fury.
Yeah.
Okay. Now Lashley, and he had it in the bag. He did have it won until Lashley came out and did what he did last week to cost him. So, it's almost put in a predicament where where's this guy going to cash in? How can he? And he even said as much last night in his interview that he did backstage with Kathy Kelly that, like every time I've tried to cash this thing in, where am I, I've been screwed over.
Yeah.
And
No, it's
and and how am I supposed to cash in against a guy who's been dominant for the last 3 years? No one can touch him. No one can beat him. I mean, at the end of it all, even if he got Reigns in a predicament, say after Crown Jewel, hypothetically,
Yeah.
And they did a number on him. They beat him down pretty good. Here he comes. But guess what? The bloodline would be there to be in his way.
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah. I think they're gonna make 3 a little more mean, a little more edgier.
Right. So in a way, it's just kind of like, yeah, he won money in the bank, but it's kind of a shitty money in the bank to win because I mean, even now, like we don't know what's gonna happen at the Royal Rumble. From
Yeah.
now to the Royal Rumble, what's gonna happen with those titles?
We
Right?
don't
I
know.
mean,
Yeah.
if Rock is gonna come back, if Rock decides to show up for that match, does it have to be for the title? Why
Well,
would it be for the
I don't
title?
because Rock's not gonna win then if it's for the title, right?
Well, that's it, right? So then at the end of it, it's like, okay, here's the other problem I have right now with WWE. It's not often I'll say this, right? It's like we're 2 weeks out of Survivor Series. We basically have one match that's almost complete, still missing 2 participants in the ladies' war games match,
Yeah.
which is all Raw people too. You know what I mean? Like, so where's SmackDown war game? Is there going to be one? Because this last
Good
SmackDown
question.
that passed, nothing was really established, right? Nothing was really set in motion.
I think we're
And
gonna
these,
see Bloodline versus Sheamus's crew probably, right?
I guess so, but I mean, under what context? This is where I have problems with some of their pay-per-views. I think in the last 3 or 4 pay-per-views, they've built them up beautifully with the stories. You're going in kind of, I like to go into a show knowing something or expecting something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That build up and everything. It's kind of like, yeah, I know what's going on. You know what's going on. The regular fans know what's going on. Maybe the casual fans don't, but that's for you to tell them.
Yeah.
Um, so I just find it's almost kind of like we're 2 weeks out of Survivor Series, and we don't have any matches per se.
Maybe this Smack on Friday we're gonna see some SmackDown matches unveiled.
Well, I hope so because I mean, again, it's 2 weeks out. It's like, what are you building up to?
It almost seems like this is like a throwaway pay per view. They're not really putting much into it unless they're gonna start picking it up now. But
Well, they have to. I mean, we're 2 weeks out. I mean, it's pretty much thrown away, in my opinion, unless something so dramatic happens. You go, oh my God, I can't wait, right? I'm still going to watch Survivor Series. At the end
yeah,
of the day, it's one of the big four. If all of
maybe
all the
they'll change
pay,
it up. Maybe not every match will be 4 versus 4 or 5 versus 5. Maybe they're gonna have more one-on-ones and tag teams.
well, okay, we know we're going to get AJ versus Finn. That's one match for
Yeah,
Survivor Series, a singles match, right? So we got that match in the bag. So we have 4 women on one side and 4 women on the other side, but there's 2 spots open. So who are going to
yeah,
take those, right? It's kind of like I thought War Games would have been more effective, in my opinion, if you had Raw versus SmackDown type of War Games,
that'd be cool.
right? I mean, just having all the women participate from Raw. So what are the women on SmackDown going to do? Are they going to have a traditional, you know, Survivor Series match? I don't know.
I think the men's we're gonna see Bloodline versus other brutes. Maybe get a couple other guys with them. I don't know.
Yeah. No, for sure. All right. So should we take a quick peek at Raw here and see what went down?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's break it
All
down.
right. So Seth comes out. He's talking up the big show and talking about the title and whatnot. And he's this guy now, right? Like he's trying to bring life back to this US title. Enter Bobby Lashley. Now I thought they did a double turn here. Okay, I think Seth is pretty much, more or less a face again. But
Seems that way.
Lashley seems to be getting the support of the crowd as well. So I don't know if they were able to flip him completely. I think he has to do something really heinous and bad to kind of get these guys against him again. But he comes out, then Mustafa Ali comes out, and I love how he's just kind of sticking around, kind of trying to stick
Yeah,
himself into the situation. So good for him and not forcing himself, but I don't think the fans are a big fan of him, even though he's trying to be a baby face.
not really.
So
No.
no, so that sets up Bobby Lashley versus Mustafa Ali. The bell rings, and it's basically just a ass kicking from Bobby Lashley, more or less. I don't know.
Which it
I
has to
mean,
be when you're fighting a guy that size.
well, I mean, he had his moments and whatnot, right?
Yeah,
So that's basically that match. I mean, Bobby Lashley wins, keeps him strong, and he got a pretty nasty gash here on his chest, eh?
he does. Yeah,
It's like rug burn or something because that's still red, like it's that pinky
yeah. No,
kind
I
of
just noticed that.
color. Okay, backstage we have Kathy Kelly with the OC and Mia Kim. AJ Styles challenges Finn one-on-one to the Survivor Series match. And basically that brings up Mia Yim against Tamina. Mia does her job, takes care of Tamina. Poor Tamina, 1 minute she's fucking hot news, the next she's just in hat skills. But you know
Yeah, I
what?
know she's all over the place.
Yeah, but she's lucky she got the Rock. And at the end of this match, you basically get Rhea Ripley coming out and trying to egg her on and whatnot. And Mia's like, "Come on in the ring." She doesn't want to. She leaves. And basically, I'll say it right now: Mia Yim is now one member of Team Belair, and
Yep.
Rhea has joined with Damage Control. So you got the four of those ladies against those four ladies with two spots still open. Matt Riddle is banging his bongos backstage. And Chad Gable and Otis come in and promise to take care of business. That was a fun little segment. I love
That
those
was
two
cool.
guys. They're
They're
really
funny.
talented. Oh, absolutely. Um, Basically, then you go into a Matt Riddle versus Chad Gable with Otis match, and Otis causing a distraction allows Chad Gable to get the surprise victory here. So Alpha Academy beating up both Riddle and Elias over the last couple of weeks. Not the match I don't think anybody was waiting for, but I mean, it was okay. It was good.
No, it's half decent.
JBL, Baron Corbin are playing poker backstage. They end up ripping this one guy off, kind of shades of the APA days.
That was cool.
Yeah, enter Tozawa, which was kind of fun. Tozawa says, "I can't play poker. I don't know how to play poker." JBL's like, "Well, your money's good here." And then we cut to a commercial. Johnny Gargano comes out and they're carrying on with the whole Miz and Dexter Loomis thing. Basically, the segment is this: they talk, everyone goes back and forth. Miz does the Miz, and we have another match again between the Miz and Dexter. This time again with the same stipulations. If Dexter wins, he gets a contract. If he loses, he has to leave. So I don't know when that's happening, but that should be happening next week.
So what do you think that at the end of the story they're going to say it was all the work together? We tricked everybody. What do you think they're going to do with this?
Well, no, I think they've already set the storyline in motion where the Miz is being this kind of, trying to create his own media blitz so he can get, for the promotion and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I think basically you see Dexter getting his contract, and then you basically see Dexter getting his contract and go from there, sort of a deal, and
Yeah.
move on
No.
to the
Yeah.
next story. Because after this, I think it's him and Johnny Gargano are going to have a program, him and the Miz.
Yeah, they're definitely building for that.
Right. So they're building for that. That's something to come out of this. So that's something to look for. Austin Theory, our friend Austin Theory, is backstage with Kathy. Kelly claims that nobody understands him, nobody can relate to him. He's more alive than he's ever been. He explains that he didn't cash in on Roman Reigns. He was afraid. So he said it, right? Like he said, there's
Yeah.
no point. The best other option was getting after Seth Rollins. Dolph Ziggler disagrees, comes in, and now we have a match between Dolph and
Theory.
Austin Theory. This might be interesting. I mean, if Dolph can mentor him and kind of get with him a little bit, they could forge a pretty interesting situation here, right?
You have a
With
good feud going on here. Yeah.
yeah. So you basically got that. Io Sky against Dana Brooke squash match. Dana's pretty much done. She's pretty choked that she worked so hard to keep that 24/7 title, only to have Nikki Cross throw it in the garbage like it meant nothing, which it probably did mean nothing, but I understand where she was coming from a character standpoint, which led up to
Yeah.
this match, which led her getting her ass kicked again.
Yep.
So Dana Brooke is now gone back into the realm of obscurity with her friend Tamina. They should form a tag team called themselves Obscurity.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah. It would
Right?
work.
You get a whole yeah. Mia Kim comes out at the end of this match while they're celebrating to let them know that she's joined with Belair and the crew. And Austin Theory versus Dolph Ziggler. This was a pretty cool match, but again, you're seeing the rebirth or recreation of Austin Theory, an
Yeah, the way
evolution,
the new creative
right?
season.
Like, okay, granted, he lost by disqualification, but that wasn't the point. The point was the beating that he put him through.
They're showing him as more of an aggressive guy.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Like, all jokes aside, everything has everything. Fuck you. We're gonna destroy you. This leads
Yeah,
to Baron Corbin with JBL against Tozawa after he took all their money. Baron Corbin wins in the ring. We'll call that match what it is. It's plain and simple. United States Championship match: Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins. This was really good. Actually, to be fair, I
yeah,
watched it last night, but I went back and I watched it again. And I love watching these two guys work. I mean, just from a pure wrestling match, it was really fun, right? I mean, the end came
best match of the
basically,
night, probably.
oh, 100%. Just the chemistry between the two guys, the way they work so well together,
Yeah, it was
you
great.
can't go wrong. No. Yeah, so basically you got a situation here where it was a pretty much one-on-one situation for most of the match until the end, where Judgment Day tries to come out and interfere, which brings out the OC, and they all fight backwards and this way and that, which leads Seth in the ring to get beat the shit out of by Austin Theory.
Yep.
So, somewhat similar ending to last week's Raw, but this time around it's Austin Theory dishing out the punches. I
I guess
like
we're
it.
gonna get Seth in theory, a couple more matches coming up here.
Well, see, this is the thing. You got like four different dudes, or three guys that are all connected to this title right now: Mustafa Ali, Bobby Lashley, and Seth Rollins. I think,
Austin.
and sorry, Austin Theory as well. Sorry, but I don't know what they're gonna do here in terms of like, if you put it on Lashley, he's a dominant force. Not many people are gonna be able to beat him.
That's the
Seth
thing.
Rollins, though, on the other hand, is perceivably beatable. But
Yeah.
what people fail to forget is this guy has clean wins over Roman Reigns, has clean wins over Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
So anyone who's dominating, I mean, he beat Bobby Lashley too. I think the
I
biggest
almost think
problem,
Bobby Lashley's too big to be in the feud with these middle-sized guys. He should be up fighting with Reigns and Lesnar and Braun and all the big boys, I think.
I agree with you to a certain extent there as well. I understand that, but there's no titles there. And I think the one problem that Bobby Lashley may have, and this might be a shoot, this is just me spitballing out here. He wanted to run with that title. He wanted to make it big again, right? Like he thought
Yeah.
he could be the guy that would make the US title the main title on Raw, which in essence it should be, considering they don't have anything else there. But
Yeah,
they've
no, I hear
spent
him on that.
but they spent so many years destroying and breaking that title down considerably. It's going to take a while for it to build up some name again, in my opinion.
If they ever can get it back to there. I don't know.
If
It's
they
hard.
can, and you look at
Yeah,
the Intercontinental title on the other side. Yeah, Gunther has it, but I mean, what weight does it carry?
not
You know,
much.
Especially there, it doesn't carry any weight at all, only for the fact of Roman being there.
Pretty
And
much.
so it's just kind of like you basically need to, and I like what they're trying to do. Let's see if they stick with it. Let's
Yep.
see if they're able to maintain that momentum with that title and kind of build it up again. I'm only afraid they're going to get to a certain point and then they're going to strip Roman of one, or he's going to lose one, and that's going to come back to Raw, and they're just going to, you
I
know,
don't even think Lashley needs a title. He's like Brock Lesnar. They don't even need titles. They're just so big, so strong, so
no,
dynamic. They don't even need it. Let Theory and those guys have it. You guys are already established
no.
badasses.
Hey,
How
I
I
get
see.
it. I get it completely, and I see it the same way. But I'm just trying to think from the perspective of like, I could have done this. What Seth is doing. But here's the thing on Seth. I don't think there's anyone in the WWE who's bigger than Seth Rollins, in my opinion.
No, he's the best all around right now. He's number one, best worker, best character, best look. Right now, he is. Even though it's range of the belt overall, Seth is, I think, all around the best.
I think so too. And if anyone, I don't know. It's kind of curious. Like I said, I think once we get into Survivor Series, we'll start getting a clearer picture of the road to WrestleMania.
I would love to see it. I would love to see Seth versus Reigns at WrestleMania and let Seth take the belts off as former Shield member.
I think it'd be awesome to see as well, man.
I don't think we're going to see that, but that's what if I was in charge, what I would do. But
Well, brother, there's a lot of time between now and
we'll see what
WrestleMania,
happens.
right?
Yeah,
I always say that even though they say the road to WrestleMania starts after the Royal Rumble, I believe they start paving that road to WrestleMania in
yeah.
November.
No,
It's
I agree.
now we're going to start to see the seeds being planted for things to happen at Mania. You may not notice them right now if you're a casual fan or just someone tuning in here and there.
Yeah.
But for the wrestling fan, for the man and woman and child who watch the show every week or shows every week and follow it, will know and start to see some of the things that will start to come to for WrestleMania.
Yep.
So from here till then, we don't know what's going to go on. I can honestly tell you the only match that I know for sure that's going to happen is Ray versus Dominic at
That's for
WrestleMania,
sure. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That was,
The other match that I have a feeling about going down would be the Paul brothers against the Usos. Brothers versus
that'd be an
brothers.
amazing tag match if that happens.
That would be fun. It all determined on how fast Logan heals
Could
up.
you
Here.
imagine the hype for that match and the promos and oh man, it'd be bold.
I think it would be solid only because you legit have two brothers going against two brothers.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's blood against blood, and the way Logan and Jake interact with one another. You know, I could almost see Jake turning on Logan in the match.
Speaking of Jake, you seen the Community shirt there on the weekend?
He's a busy motherfucker, eh? I guess he didn't go home. Yeah,
you know, Floyd wouldn't come out until Jake left.
Really?
Yeah. So Floyd got word that Jake Paul was sitting ringside. Remember, Floyd fought Logan, right? They had a draw or whatever, or decision or whatever.
Got your hat. Got your hat. Got your hat.
Yeah. So, yeah, Jake Paul was sitting front row, and Floyd said, "I'm not starting this fight. I'm not coming out until Jake leaves." So they had to escort Jake out of there.
Well, I mean, Jake created quite the stir this weekend.
Oh yeah.
First he lines up with Andrew Tate at the same fight.
Yeah.
Right. So that's legit happening now. I don't know if that's next, but that fight's happening. It probably is happening next. And then that back and forth between John Fury. And you know what? I get it. John is trying to sell a fight, but dude, keep your shirt on, bro.
Yeah, that was taking your shirt off.
Like nothing against him. I mean, he looks good for an old man.
No, I know, but
you know, you're just over the top, man. Like even your kid isn't even over the top that much, and he's the one fighting.
Yeah, Tommy.
I rather see Jake versus John. To be honest,
that'd be a hilarious build-up.
John might even knock him out, man. Like he's a bruiser.
He's a big guy, man.
He's a gypsy. They don't fuck around.
No, they're big.
Right?
I'll tell you one thing: you'll never see Jake versus Tyson because that would be not fair. That would never happen.
Well, the only way that's going to happen. Well, Tyson Fury. Oh yeah. No, that wouldn't happen.
No.
But against his little brother there, I think Jake has sent out some information to him saying, "Look, I'll come to England. I'll come there. I'll do everything. You just got to sign. If you don't sign, then I'm moving on."
Yeah, I don't blame him either.
So now we're in a holding pattern with Jake Paul. Is he going to fight Andrew Tate next, Nate Diaz, or Tommy
Fury?
We'll find out. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, man. So I can understand why he didn't want him around. Kind of take the spotlight off it. Yeah. Exactly. He got connected too. Hey, that Deji hit him a couple times. Good.
Little shiner there.
Shit. I guess he's getting there now.
Did you watch that Hatton Brera fight?
No, I saw highlights of it. I didn't catch the whole thing. How was it? Yeah,
Hatton looked good. Brera looked sluggish. I mean, they weren't trying to hurt each other, they're friends, but they stiffed each other a little bit. They probably went about 70%. Entertaining. Did you see what Hatton's ring walk was killer? Did you see what he did?
You know what? I saw a little clip.
He came out with a walker.
Yeah, exactly. I saw that piece. Yeah. Cool. No, good for him. I mean, the amount of weight that you lost to get back into shape, you got to throw some haymakers, man. You got to throw something.
It was more exciting than Mike Tyson and Roy Jones.
I think anything is. I think anything is more exciting than. I think the best part of Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones was at the end when they were interviewing them with what's his name? Jim Gray.
Yeah.
And Jim just keeps asking Roy, like, hey, how do you feel? You know, you felt some of his punches. And Tyson's just kind of standing there and he pushes Jim and goes, hey, what about me? I took shots too. But they're more concerned because he's Mike Tyson. They're more concerned about the other guy.
Yeah, because you never know what Tyson's going to get pissed off and they're going to go crazy, right? But
no, you got to be careful with him, man. Hey, any top fives today?
I do. I think I've asked this before, but I'm going to ask this again because I know I'm going to get a different answer. I want to hear your top 5 dream matches that never happened that you'd book from guys from any era. So you could say a Rock versus Andre, for example.
I would love to have seen Bruno Sammartino against Bret Hart or Ric
Okay.
Flair, both in their primes.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm talking 70s Flair before their plane crash.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
So that would be 1 or 2, maybe. I don't know if you want to count it as 2, but let's count it as 1. Shawn Michaels versus The Rock.
Yeah, that's one I would pick.
Right?
For sure.
That'd be really cool to watch. Andre Big Show.
That'd be awesome too.
That would have been a good story because the way
father versus son.
Yeah, the way Hogan started it, right? I mean, he's Andre's son, right? Because he was wearing the kind of shirt and everything, and
yeah, the same outfit.
I mean, they basically killed that story fast, but I think that would have been a fun match to see.
Yeah.
What else would I have liked to have seen at one point in my life? I would have loved to have seen the Cuban Assassins against the Road Warriors. I don't know if they ever touched or if they ever fought, but that would have been a good fight. And
4 tough boys going at it. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? I mean, a scaffold match, like anything goes match. I mean, that would have been a fun match. The other one, the last one. This is the tough one now. Come on, think. I would have loved to have seen. Oh, this is tougher than it sounds, bro.
It is, yeah. It's not easy.
There is a lot of solid matches, but a lot of them I'm already thinking of. We've already seen, like Flair versus Steamboat and whatnot. So I'm trying to think outside the box here. Okay, here's one. This is completely from left field. Shawn Michaels versus Scotty Mac.
Yeah. Anything goes. It's your fantasy. So
I think that would be fine because
book.
he emulates himself so much and it's one of his favorite wrestlers of all time. So it'd be kind of cool to kind of see that. I almost feel though that would be kind of like watching Dolph Ziggler against Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I know. Scotty even has the same kind of smiles Michael
Right?
used to do when he was young, that little cocky smile.
Exactly. So yeah, those would be the 5 that I'd want to see. Definitely, yeah.
That's a good top 5.
Yeah. What about you? Or is it too much pressure?
Rock versus Shawn Michaels, but Shawn Michaels is the heel. What else was I thinking? Probably Mr. Perfect versus Kurt Angle, just because Mr. Perfect is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Triple H versus Arn Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
What else would I take? It's tough. I'd like to see. It's so hard.
I know, right?
Probably Bret Hart versus Ricky Steamboat.
Didn't they ever
one-on-one? Not one-on-one. I don't believe. I don't think they came across each other's paths, but maybe. And then I like to see maybe something for the bigger guys. Maybe like because he's very athletic and I always liked him as a kid. Brock Lesnar versus Vader.
That'd be interesting.
Something different. Everybody picks all the technical guys. I like to see the 2 smash most every once in a while. So those would be my 5.
Yeah. So here's some news. Let's just touch on some news stories that are making the headlines these days, and we'll call it from here. Paige, she hasn't fought yet, but there's already controversy all around her from her leaked videos and stuff like that. And I don't know if she's just trying to build off of that to kind of get more clout.
You mean her leaked like X-rated videos? You mean?
Yeah, the one with what's that guy from the New Day? Xavier Woods is in one.
And Brad Maddox, wasn't it?
Brad Maddox, yeah. They all played together.
Whatever happened to him?
Brad Maddox basically got fired and now he's just kind of doing whatever, man. He's not, he didn't fit into the thing. What's your take on Paige, man?
I mean, she's okay. Nothing special, I don't think.
Okay. So Triple H's plan for Austin Theory. I just found this article here. According to the Wrestling Observer, Triple H
Mr. David Meltzer. Yeah.
Well, either one of them or the other guy. Triple H wants Theory to drop the selfie gimmick and plans on making a mysterious threat to the Raw roster. And last night was the beginning of that, right? So, I mean, if there was anything Vince related, he's taking it off of him.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. It's his own vision, right? So see what you can do.
So they're trying to make him a more of a vicious guy, more edgy and as extreme as you're saying. So, I like I said, I think they're doing the right thing with him. I don't think, because it was a weird gimmick, right? I mean, it's like, how
I
do you
just hope
take?
that they didn't lose what he had, and he won't be able to get it back. We'll find out.
No, no, I don't think they have. I mean, if anything, he's gained more since last week, in my opinion. Right? Stone Cold, Austin, to expect to wrestle at WrestleMania 39. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, he can do another match like he did against Kevin Owens. He can kick and punch, throw around a little bit. He did pretty good. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
be cool.
definitely.
It's Hollywood, right? They want to get as many big stars and the big names as they can. So
Yeah, no, 100%. We're told that while Vince McMahon regime had a hope to have Austin back to do another match, and that Triple H regime actually made an offer to Austin to do another match. So basically, they're reached out to him. Hopefully, we get something going there with Austin, and that's kind of cool because I mean, after WrestleMania, you haven't seen him again, right? Outside of
no, he
his,
did good. He did pretty good.
outside of the Broken Skull sessions and whatnot. Um, People within the WWE are against CM Punk returning. I think we don't need to talk about that. I think wherever
I
he
don't blame
goes,
him. I'm all with him.
yeah,
Don't
yeah.
need that guy.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. WWE needs to make a change to their planned men's war game match due to injury. In the main event of Survivor Series 22 will take a men's war games match will take place. The Bloodline, the Usos, Solo Sakai, and Sami Zayn scheduled to take on the Brawling Brutes, like he said. And
Which I think will be great. I enjoy the Brawling, which I didn't like him at first, but I really liked him now.
yeah, the last one on Sheamus Scenes could be Kevin Owens, but the WWE will now have to replace him because he suffered an MCL sprain at Sunday's live event. So Kevin Owens is out. He's actually legit injured. He hasn't been on TV for a while, but now he's legit injured. So now they got to find another guy. So you're basically gonna see the Uso clan and all those guys against the Brawling Brutes with Drew McIntyre with them, and I guess they got to find another guy. So I
Okay.
don't know who that's gonna be. So we basically got that, but they haven't been building it. I wish they'd build the
They're not
story.
building it at all, dude. They got to pick it up here. Two more
Yeah,
SmackDowns to go.
yeah, that's just my opinion. Um, on this day in 1999, the Big Show won his first ever WWE heavyweight title in the main event of Survivor Series. So
Nice.
congratulations to the Big Show on winning his title. You know what? And that's basically it, brother, man. That's the news that we know basically what
Sums
matches
it
we
up.
have at Survivor Series. Anything you want to add? Is there anything on your mind?
No, I think I just hope they start building a little better towards Survivor Series. We got two more SmackDowns to go. So hopefully this Friday they pick it up a little bit.
Yeah, let's just see what they do on Friday. Hopefully we
Because like
get
you said, this is one of the big four. It's the big pay-per-view, right? It's not just like a in your house or a No Mercy. It's a big one.
I expect more when it comes to the top four,
Yeah,
right?
you expect a big show, yeah.
I expect a good build up. I have no expectation for the shows because these big four have let me down many, many times over the years. But
Yeah.
the build up is what I expect. I want to see good promotions. I want to see, you know, I mean, let's talk about the casual fan, yeah.
Yeah. They need some big matches, right?
They need some big matches. They also need to be able to see what's going on. If there's nothing going on, if everything's coming, you know, together in the last week, then who you're drawing to?
Exactly. You gotta build it up and some excitement, right? Like I don't know what's gonna happen here. We'll see, I guess. Hopefully we're wrong and they're gonna have a kick-ass SmackDown on Friday.
Absolutely. And to our friend that left a comment on our last episode, Chance Michaels, I now anoint you the man of the casual fan.
I wear that proudly, yes. I appreciate
Absolutely.
that.
So, to that fan who left the comment, thank you so much for your feedback and your insight. And like and subscribe, guys, right there at the bottom of your
We're picking
screen.
up subscribers little by little. We're getting there.
We're getting there slowly but surely, man. We will get
Yeah.
there. No one can stop us, right? So, thank you
No,
to our friend Parsons, is it?
Penner.
Penner, sorry. Thank you to the Penners for their comment, and hope you guys enjoy the show and let us know what else we can do to
There's
be
one more thing we almost forgot. I don't know if you forgot. You're gonna say where are we gonna be this Saturday?
This Saturday, thank you for reminding me. We have All Star Wrestling. It's back. This is their second show under their new regime. It will be at the Sullivan Hall in Surrey. We got the Bollywood Boys going to be there defending their titles. You got Odin Rex, Thunder from Jalunder. You also have Scotty Mack on this card as well. Also, you will have the return of Calamity Kate as she defends her ASW women's title against one Christina von Slasher, who's now back in the fold. So it's going to be an interesting night of wrestling.
And I'm going to give him this name: the most decorated referee in the Pacific Northwest is making his return. 17 years as a ref, Mr. Robert Mitchell.
When you say decorated,
Great
are there awards?
What's that?
There are awards for referees?
Yeah, they've got a few plaques over the years, yeah.
Oh, wow. So he's a decorated referee.
Well, he hasn't got one, but he's been doing it the longest. I think he has the most matches of any ref in the last 20 years, I believe. He's got all of his matches in a book.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, so he'll be there. Robert Mitchell will be there as well. So, I mean, if you're in Surrey, no excuses. If you're in Vancouver, really no excuses. If you're willing to drive to Abbotsford to go see a show, Surrey's not that far, guys. So, yeah, we would love to see you guys out there. I will be there sure. And Chance will be there as well. So should be a fun night of wrestling, good family time. And bring your appetite. They're gonna have some food trucks out there, some butter chicken and whatnot.
I like how they're doing that, actually. It's a good idea.
So yeah, so it's a kind of cool experience. And we'll get more into this whole show next week and give you a breakdown of it all and what went down and what to expect as we go further now. So Chance Michaels, my brother, man, thank you so much. You sound a little bit under the weather there, so thank you for sure.
No, I just had a little bit of a tickle on my throat. I feel okay, but sort of hit me a couple hours ago. But yeah,
that's how it starts, brother, man. I think down some vitamin C and try to nip it in the backside. That's how it starts. So
yes, no, I hear you on
that. So take care of your health and rest your voice. And that's it basically. I'm Bobby Sampson. He's Chance Michaels.
And in the words of the great AC/DC, those that download, like, subscribe to the podcast, and comment, we salute you.
We do salute you. Please like and subscribe. It only takes a second. And on that note, in the words of Ed Whalen, I will say this in the meantime and in between time. That's it for Samp and Chance. Have a great rest of your week, Chance. And I will talk to you soon. All right, brother. Take care.